It was a great experience. It's one of the one of the greatest learning curves I've had as a person. Not only someone involved in cricket. The players over there are fantastic. The young generation coming through are very, very talented. They've started to implement the right, I suppose, processes in the academy and having the right people in the right positions, and we're sort of seeing with the junior players coming through, the 17s and 19s are performing very well against most other international sides, and the young players are progressing through to international cricket and doing well. They're getting better and better, Bangladesh. They've probably still got a little bit of a way to go in many ways, but they're progressing, and I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, look, I've got to be honest, I think they would have given Australia a run for the money over there in those conditions. They play very well at home. Their spinners are very skillful, and they get the best out of the conditions. So it would have been a challenge for Australia, and it's really disappointing for the players as well, of both sides. I mean, Bangladesh, I know, have been preparing for this year, and Australia coming over for some length of time, and to have what's happened over there is extremely disappointing. And having lived over there, it's never once did I sort of feel unsafe in the 2 years I was there. So whatever's happened has obviously, and you see the current situation with foreigners being attacked, it's really disappointing, and hopefully, it's a very short. It's not a consistent process, because Bangladesh do have a bit to offer international cricket, and to have the likes of Australia unable to tour there, is a real shame for Bangladesh cricket. The Bangladeshi locals love the foreigners. They're always nice. They're very, very friendly, and my family and I walk the streets, within reason, quite freely. So I never once sort of felt like that. Generally in Bangladesh, it's a local thing between the two government parties. It's very rarely are foreigners involved. So it's a real shame that Australians in particular have been targeted by these individuals. Because when we heard, we were very surprised, because as I said, we never once felt intimidated by walking the streets of Dhaka. So yeah, it's a real shame. Unfortunately, get stuck with playing a lot of cricket against Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe and the associate nations. So it's a bit of a shame that one of the best teams in the world hasn't been able to tour for security reasons. Hopefully it's only a small hurdle, but we've seen what happens in Pakistan, that it could end up a real problem, and that'd be a real shame, because the crowds in Bangladesh and the people are so passionate about their cricket. It is a mini India, Test match crowds, outside of maybe Australia and England, the Test match crowds in Bangladesh are probably bigger than most nations. They absolutely love their cricket. They're passionate about it. They follow Bangladesh like no one else, and it's just a real shame for them that they don't get to see a quality side like Australia play good cricket in Bangladesh. I think the right decision's been made. People's safety and livelihoods are far more important than a game of cricket. So, the right decision has been made. Unfortunately, you're sort of giving in to those sort of people in many ways by cancelling it, but, your life and your family and all that stuff is far more important than a game of cricket. So, how you combat so-called terrorism is extremely difficult to comment on, but, I think the right decision has been made, unfortunately.